Hey guys, Doug here. Today is my card reveal, and the card I got is Thistlety. So let's take a look. It's a rogue card, and when you use it, it instantly restores 100 to. Wait, alright, that's not it. Here we go. Thistlety, there we go. So it's a rogue card. You can draw a card with it, and it adds 2 extra copies of it to your hand. Costs 6 mana. So let's say you play this on turn 6, you draw an Azure Drake with the draw card effect, and suddenly you add 2 more Azure Drakes to your hand. So that would be a total of 3 Azure Drakes. That's a lot of Azure Drakes. You can also Thistlety spells. You Thistlety on 6, you draw into a preparation. You get 3 preps. Or you can, prep Thistlety on 3. You get, I don't know, tons of backstabs or something like that. So that's kind of cool. Where do I see this card? I don't see it in the normal rogue right now, although normal rogue right now is oil rogue or Malagos rogue. I do kind of see it in a control rogue type deck, which would be like running assassinates and big game hunter and things like that, because control rogue right now doesn't really have any good way to get cards, because you don't want to really be running sprint, right? Because most control matchups go to fatigue, and sprint would just demolish your control plan. So this actually gives you like a pretty good option for a control rogue deck, and I think that's what the intention of this was made for. Because right now this does not fit in any rogue deck that I've seen, aside from control rogue, of course. Because if you look at like the best case scenario for like a Malagos rogue, right? I Thistlety into like 3 Sinister Strikes. Oh my gosh! Now I have to get it reduced by Emperor, and then draw my Malagos. Even though if this was your card draw card, right? Like, I don't know. It seems kind of sketchy. Plus, it's like pretty RNG, right? Like, what if you Thistlety into a preparation when you're in dire need of cards? You're like, well, this isn't good. So it doesn't seem that good in that aspect. But in a control deck, I could definitely see it working. You Thistlety, and control decks are usually running either removal, a threat, like a Ragnaros or something like that, or defensive options. So, like, I know heal bots out of the meta, but you could, like, Thistlety into a ton of heal bots, or into Belcher. Belcher's out of the meta. I don't know. What are defensive options that aren't out of the meta after Standard is released? Refreshment Vendor! I don't know. So yeah, that's like where my mind's going with it. Control rogue. The issue I do have with this card is it kind of reveals information about your hand. So let's say you play this like in standard rogue or whatever. You Thistlety, you draw like 3 saps or something. You're like, all right, that's cool. You play the first sap, and then they're like, okay, this guy Thistletied into a sap, so he has like 2 more saps in hand. I'm not gonna play into that sap. So he like starts playing his like lower cost minions. It reveals too much information about your hands, in my opinion. Like, you get 3 backstabs, they're not gonna play, 2 HP minions that can just like get killed instantly. So that's kind of what I don't like about that card, or about this card. It reveals a little bit too much information. And I really don't think it'll see much play unless Control Rogue becomes a thing, in which case it might not even see play then, but it probably will. I don't know. It's a really good control card. The interesting thing about this card, though, that is really cool, is that rogues can already manipulate their deck through a card called Gang Up. So let's say you like gang up a Cold Light Oracle, right? You increase the odds that Thistlety will draw that Cold Light Oracle. So like, turn 3, you play Cold Light Oracle and gang it up, and then like suddenly you Thistlety, your odds of drawing that Cold Light Oracle are crazy, and then you can just like keep playing Cold Light Oracles, and then your opponent's like, I can't hold all these cards. So that'd be cool. Something like that. I don't know. Gang up, you can work something out with it. I can't say this won't see any play, because I'll definitely be messing around with it, but I can almost say for certain it won't see competitive play, at least not right now with the meta. But, I mean, Hearthstone's about making crazy fun decks, so there's that. Also, if you're a lucky dog, you can Thistlety into like a Chthon with your Chthon deck, or you can Thistlety into Chthon minions and just buff your Chthon like crazy. go ham with it. Yeah, there's a lot of like fun applications. I just, as I said, control card, not really fitting into the rogue decks right now. But yeah, thanks for tuning in, guys. That's Thistlety.